Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. We are about to start the graduation ceremony. Thank you. Please welcome the academic procession. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem.
Così si keleli Afrika, malupagani su ponolwayo, Israel mitanda zoyetu. Così si kelela tina, lusa polwayo, murena bulu kase chavasa esu, ufedise dintwale matwenye, usebuluke, si chavasa, Jesu, si chavasa, South Africa, South Africa. Uit blauw van onze hemel, uit die diepte van ons ziel, oor ons eeuwige gebergtes, waar die kranse antwoord geeft. Sounds a call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, members of the AFDA Institutional Senate, academics, and of course, the reason we are here today, the graduates of 2020. In these unprecedented times, AFDA is hosting its first hybrid graduation ceremony. And so, on that note, I welcome you to the first virtual graduation ceremony of AFDA Cape Town. As we graduate and we move into the industry, a reminder to all the students graduating today that AFDA has a very powerful alumni network. To make benefit of all the alumni opportunities, remember to register on the AFDA alumni site, alumni.afda.co.za. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce the Dean of AFDA Cape Town, Dion Lawrenson, to deliver the opening address.
Good evening. No one makes it to graduation alone. Firstly, I would like to thank all the mothers, fathers, guardians, grandmothers, grandfathers, aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, and friends who are watching our first ever online graduation ceremony. Thank you to our extended AFDA community for your unwavering support, albeit financially, emotionally, and spiritually. To be honest, I long to see a full house of graduates and extended community today. Secondly, the staff are the heart and soul of the AFDA Cape Town campus. Thank you to the CEO, Institutional Senate, Operations Department, Marketing, Finance, Administration, and Registry, who keep our campus thriving. Thank you to our heads of department and learning faculty, who teach, mentor, lead, guide, coach, and nudge our students to excel. Nothing gives us greater joy than to see our students succeed, not only as artists, but as humans. Our alumni are proof of your dedication, expertise, and excellence, and we thank you. I thank you. Then to our graduating year of 2020. When I sat down to write my speech, I struggled to find the right words to express how much I honor you in this moment. When we reflect on 2020, it is unavoidable to speak about the historical COVID-19 pandemic and how it influenced our year, our plans, our goals. 2020 might not have been the year you had hoped for or dreamt of, but it was ultimately so much more. During 2020, we moved indoors to protect our most vulnerable citizens. Never before in your lifetime has civic duty been this important. With the global physical lockdown came a movement towards introspection. During hard lockdown, we spent our time working, reflecting, cooking, baking, sharing recipes, reading, meditating, exercising, connecting virtually with loved ones far away. We spent quality time with our kids, we wrote poetry and listened to music, and the world has forever changed. During 2020, we have seen government response levels come and go, with more than 1.55 million cumulative infections and almost 53,000 deaths. My deepest and heartfelt condolences to those who have lost family, colleagues, friends, and students due to the virus. The way we work, we greet, we engage, learn, and travel has changed, and so has consumerism, conservation, digital migration, politics, the social economic divide, hygiene and gatherings, industrial economies and markets, and the importance of mental wellness. We have examined the way we connect with loved ones, where, when, and how we work, our relationship with the planet, and our civic duty towards climate change, the vulnerability of the poor, and how we can take action against abuse and discrimination. We did not only watch global and local infection numbers rise, we also bore witness to powerful movements that support Black Lives Matter, that included hashtags such as I Can't Breathe and Say Her Name. These movements included the end to femicide and cultural inclusivity. Our graduating students interrogated these global issues and more. They grappled and danced with it and created films, theater shows, documentaries, telenovelas, and businesses. Our students paid attention. They experimented, showed huge growth, took risks, had fun, and looked at the world differently. This enriched their work with deeper undertones and richer shades of color. Our graduating students curated relevant concepts that underpin exciting stories and used discipline to share narratives with audiences. They drew on global events and zeitgeist to inspire and create. As audiences, we wept, we shuddered, we laughed and gasped. I'm very proud to be part of this creative economy and share in both our student and staff journey. So, if 2020 was not exactly the year we had hoped for, I ask, what was 2020 for you? From my point of view, I saw graduating students with immeasurable resilience and stamina, creatives who adapt quickly and so innovate and grow, who stayed flexible and pliable, are open to communicate and connection, and together solve new problems with new solutions. Find magic in the challenges, foster their communities, focus on team culture, and individuals who created change for everyone, and so ultimately celebrated each other's wins. More than anything, our graduating class remained vulnerable and open during the discomfort of COVID-19. They did not only survive it, they flourished within it. They achieved what very few professionals could manage. They continued to tell stories. So, What exactly were your hopes, dreams, and goals for 2020? Because you didn't just achieve it. You didn't just achieve an outcome, be that a film or a business startup. You learned to remain creatively solution-orientated during a global pandemic with severe production constraints. In my view, you achieved them all, and then some. You are the graduating class with the first COVID-19 standard operating procedures, which will stay with us for a very long time. The graduating class with the first online experimental festival, the first drive-in graduating festival, and first online graduating ceremony. We will always remember the graduating class of 2020 as the class of many successful firsts. So, as you venture out into the unknown, as you transition from student to professional, remember all you have learned to help you navigate the road ahead. Remember that you always have a choice in every situation. How you respond, it's up to you. Continuously strive to have a purpose or mission going forward with your career. Build bridges with your peers, the industry, mentors, and audiences. And whenever you cannot see the next step, just breathe. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. But have no fear when things don't go as planned, because just like 2020, this is where we learn and grow. This is the space of innovation. Hold on to your fire, dare mightily, and put one foot in front of the other. And breathe. Thank you. I'd like to now introduce you to our guest speaker, Jody Abrams. Jody has been an actor since the age of 7, gracing our stages as opera singer, and then later became famous for his role in Cat and the Kings, a local theatre production that toured Broadway in New York and West End in London. He is famous for his roles in Hard Copy, and currently as his role as Lionel in the local production Arden's Play. He is an inspiration, and as a local actor, producer, and director, he knows something about the industry. I'd like to welcome Jody Abrams.
Yo, that's a word I grew up with, growing up just around the corner here in Woodstock with my grandparents in a little room. Yo, graduation. For me, it was encapsulated magic. And here you are. 2020. The graduating class of 2020. Now, I could have prepared this long speech and paper, and I sat and I thought, you know what? Speak from your heart, my boy. Because it was always a dream of mine to graduate. For me, just wearing this thing now, it's kind of magic. I feel a bit like Batman. I got a cape. Magic. That's what it held for me, and I'm sure it holds for you. And with that magic comes responsibility. And in the same way, I couldn't, unfortunately, or fortunately, due to circumstances, I wasn't privileged enough to get this opportunity to graduate, to study. Because I believed in the magic. Because from the age of 7, this is what I've been doing. Bringing the magic. You've got it. And that's why you're here. And realize that that magic has been seen and has been nurtured by this institution. But it's your magic. And just like wearing that cloak and that cape and being the superhero, that guy. You need to take responsibility. So, you're probably thinking, what is Zozo talking about? Well, I'll tell you. With power comes responsibility. We've all known it, it's a cliche. But you see, with your magic, you've got a responsibility. You've got a responsibility to cherish it and to build on it. Because for me, the graduation is just an acknowledgement of that magic. It's about all these other great influences in your life, you know, your lecturers, your peers, them acknowledging your magic. But now, it's up to you. You've got the cape. You've got the key. So you see, I can put it another way, because when I grew up, I walked to school. I was a bursary kid, and I went to a private school in a difficult time. And you know, it's very easy to become, I can give you all the excuses. I can blame everyone and every situation for me being a failure. I'm the victim. But I chose not to do that. I chose to follow my magic and realize that what I have is special. And I've been blessed with that gift, like all of us. So, I look at it as my little ship. I am that little ship, and I can decide to sail it. I can decide on my journey, on my course. So now you're at that dock. The champagne bottle is hanging. You're ready to set sail. What do? You check. You check and you check again. Am I right? Am I ready? Because everyone else has done it for you. You've got in all the right people to work on your ship. You know, you've worked on the engine, you've worked on the bow, you've worked on the sails. But now you have to sail. And that means that you need to take command. Yes, you can blame the weather. 2020, very bad weather. Believe me, as an actor, it was sailing along beautifully. We were heading to lovely shores, cocktails on a beach, and suddenly in came the storms. The storms of 2020, and everything changed. So life's like an ocean, you know? It changes. But you can only sail your ship. And realize that hard work and that commitment and that cherishing of that magic only needs 5% of effort. Now you're probably looking at first he starts with now he's talking about magic, then he's wearing a cape, and now he's sailing a ship. Yeah, I'm the caped O sailing the ship, and I only put in 5% of effort. That's the difference between gold, bronze, and silver. Out in the world, everyone works hard. But everyone does. We all want to be something. We want to be successful. We want the accolades. We want to be famous. Well, for me, 7-year-old, growing up in Woodstock, walking to school, hey, didn't get a degree. But I got this in 1997. And this is a Sir Lawrence Olivier Award. I first thought it was Sir Lawrence Olivier. I had no idea what this was all about. But what I did realize, that this accolade was for my performance on the West End in London. Yeah. From Woodstock to the West End. From a little room, I played on the West End in London, and I went to play on Broadway in New York. I had my face painted on the side of a building. I never understood what that 5% was until it was all over. Until I came back. And I realized that what made our success different? It was 5%. 5% of effort. It was like running at the Olympics. You know that 100 meters? Everyone's there. We're in the blocks. We've gone through the heats. Some fall away in those heats, and others make it through. What is that? What is the difference between what they call match temperament? It's 5%. I was willing to put in 5% more than anyone else at the time. They were all great actors, great musicals. Chicago was playing, this was playing. But Cat and the Kings won Jody Abrams won Best Performer in a Musical. Why? Because we put in 5% more effort, 5% more passion. And that's what you need to do. Realize that you're going into uncharted waters. Realize that there will be beautiful, calm days, but there'll also be rough, stormy days. But realize that you're that captain of the ship. You're the one who needs to put in that 5% effort. You hold the key to what's there beyond the horizon. You are the captain of your soul. So yes, there will be days of sunshine and there'll be days of storm and rain. But remember, your ship is sound. It's been passed by the masters. They've allowed you to sail. Take ownership, steer your ship, and know that tomorrow is a new dawn. So keep your course, hold it, hold your course straight on that horizon. Do not waver, and it's one hell of a journey. And so I'll leave you with these words. It's the closing line of a poem by William Ernest Henley. And it rings real true to me, because when we won this award and we played the opening night, I was privileged to meet Nelson Mandela. And this was the poem that he whispered in our ears. But I'm not going to do the whole poem. I'll just finish with the last few lines, and it just says, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Be that captain.
So, with that address, and now moving forward, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, we have reached that point in the ceremony we have all been waiting for, the conferring of the qualifications. As this is a virtual ceremony, the graduate's name will be read, and Dr. Lismore will do a symbolic conferring of the qualification. Life has so many rites of passage, such as the first day of school, becoming a teenager, turning 21, engagement and marriage, and even the birth of children. But one of the most enjoyable and memorable rites of passage is when one graduates and all the years of learning, hard work, late hours, early call times pays off, and you head into the future full of opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. James Lismore, the Registrar, to officially constitute the academic convocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, honoured guests, staff, learned academics, and Dean, I present to you the graduating students of the various programmes of AFDA Cape Town, whose names are set out in the graduation book, and who have been examined and found qualified for the certificates and degrees to which I will now be conferring on you. To all viewing this virtual ceremony, I now constitute the academic convocation for the class of 2020 and declare the assembled convocation open. By virtue of the authority vested in me as Registrar, I admit you to your qualifications, and I charge you that forever in your life, in thought, action, and conversation, you prove yourselves worthy of your qualification.
I will now invite the reader of names, Mr. Jean-Pierre de Waal, to come forward, who will then read out each qualification that is being conferred, and then the name of the graduate. Dr. Lismore will then confer the qualification with a symbolic capping.
The highest certificate in film, television, and entertainment production is hereby conferred upon Ifedayo Stephen Adeowa, Jose Izan Clark, Muhammad Rifat Davids, Greg Lutko Dekeni, James Adam Hoffman, Basetsana Kose, Sipe Mdekane, Simugile Mdoko, Masibulele Mtunyeni, Somila Yonala Mvimbi, Mudi Nepunfumbada, Bongani Nkatsane, Kokiswa Sive Plaiki, Taylan Mali Thomas, Sinyovuyo Tayambe. Higher certificate in film, television, and entertainment production with cum laude is hereby conferred upon Elizabeth Verwey Davel, Stian Jeantu Fourie, Chad Jimenez. The highest certificate in performing arts is hereby conferred upon Charles Evan Bailey, Joanne Holwetu Brandt, Avery Mark Brawood, Zizipo Damane, Joanne Reneke Kayleen Dick, Titso Mupueng, Siamtanda Putuma, Haluma Kushu, Velisa Sokoyeku. The highest certificate in performing art with distinction on the Dean's List is hereby conferred upon Siamtanda Michle Kalipe Nkoi, Liam Stephen Vogt. The highest certificate in performance arts with cum laude is hereby conferred upon Alison Lewis. The degree of Bachelor of Commerce in Business Innovation and Entrepreneurship is hereby conferred upon Vuyoletu Ashley Manona, Tiboho Junior Mokaane. The degree of Bachelor of Commerce in Business Innovation and Entrepreneurship with distinction on the Dean's List is hereby conferred upon Jordan Dominique Michel, Juliette Eugenie Montague Fryer, Gowata Orabile Mototo. The degree of Bachelor of Commerce in Business Innovation and Entrepreneurship with cum laude is hereby conferred upon Erin Kara Lewis, Mia Main Prize, Vincent van Staden. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the BCom undergraduate valedictorian Mia Main Prize to give her valedictory speech.
Today marks the end of a collective 3-year journey that has shaped us to be, somewhat, prepared to take on the world. It also marks the beginning of a new chapter in all of our lives. We are starting new paths, following different leads, having the freedom to make our own choices and create our narratives in the 21st century. But what does it mean to be a 21st century citizen? We live in a time that is separated by borders, restrictions, a real world and a virtual one, beliefs, color, ideology, wealth, health, and gender. Let us not promote a world of separation. We will always be stronger together. If this degree has taught us anything, let it be that you cannot do this alone. Inclusivity and diversity is the winning recipe. To be a 21st century citizen also means that we live in a time that has gifted us the opportunity to reach our higher selves. Surround yourself with people who will push, question, critique, love, and nourish your mind to become the best version of you. A quote from Steve that has buried itself into my mind is, "You are the result of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so pick them wisely." In the 21st century, this climate crisis has been deemed the greatest threat to humankind, and our actions now will have lasting implications on our world, whether good or bad. As future business owners, leaders, and influencers, let us build empires that are sustainable, regenerative, and put planet over profit. Oh, and don't forget to be agile. Being a 21st century citizen will mean something different to each of us, but I challenge you to remember these 3 points I've just spoken about. Togetherness, to be conscious, and to always take time to reconnect with our Mother Earth. I'd like to leave you with this quote from my favorite author, Yuval Harari, to make us all think of the kind of citizens we would like to be in this prosperous time. Ever since the cognitive revolution, sapiens have thus been living in a dual reality. On the one hand, the objective reality of rivers, trees, and lions, and on the other hand, the imagined reality of gods, nations, and corporations. As time went by, the imagined reality became even more powerful, so that today the very survival of rivers, trees, and lions depend on the grace of imagined entities such as the United States and Google. Thank you.
The degree of Bachelor of Arts in Live Performance is hereby conferred upon Lilumelo Boyson, Salome Daruti de Grandprix, Chante de Berg, Angelique Erasmus, Lauren Alexandra Gibaka, Zariah Julies, Chad Charles Langehoven, Linda Margaret Madiwa, Ishle Senesipo Ndeleni, Maite Martha Rakabe, Daniel Anthony Stroman, Nikoho Zizupo Tsotsi, Mickey van Sale, Caleb David Zwicky Wardle. The degree of Bachelor of Arts in Live Performance with distinction on the Dean's List is hereby conferred upon Siobhan Izele Nitswaki Khabake, Tulani Hilary Nzonzo, the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Live Performance with cum laude is hereby conferred upon Frances Claire Litton, Kayla Renee Huissen. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the BA Live Performance undergraduate valedictorian, Frances Litton, to give her valedictory speech.
What do you want to be? I've tried out different answers to this question since my very first careers day at school, where I actually proudly proclaimed that I was going to breed dogs. Embarrassingly, I hadn't yet nailed public speaking, so I actually told my class that I was going to breathe dogs. I'm not sure about you, but I definitely feel as though it changed every time I was asked. Actress, singer, writer, actuary. Right as I was finishing school, I was in the time of the screenwriter, and so I enrolled in AFDA. I was eagerly selling myself and anyone who would listen stories of what I was going to be and do. But, of course, the moment that I arrived at AFDA, I spent a term in music, and I just never left. This is the first thing I really need to thank AFDA for. If it weren't for Doug and for the incredible MP and live performance department, I would have never formed a band. I would have never realized that I love performing, and I wouldn't have pushed myself to book shows, tours, and events. I remember being really nervous at those lunchtime performances on Fridays, and I used to drag all of the students off to armchair to watch me at open mics, get up on stage, collaborate. Honestly, I really did love every minute. While all of my other friends were complaining about exams, cramming, crying, studying, we were starring in films, learning how to capitalize on entertainment and actually focusing on cultural relevances. So I really feel college and university is so much more than a place to learn about a career. So for those of us who are blessed with the opportunity, it's a time where we can test out different versions of who we think we might want to be. We get to act on the beliefs that we've accumulated throughout our whole life. And we also get to try out ideas. After 2 years, I made the decision to take a break from AFDA. I decided to tour with my band. So we performed across Europe, South Africa, and also the UK, playing shows with some bands that I really love, like Beatenberg and Mango Groove. And music has just opened so many doors for me. I've met so many incredible people, traveled the world, and I've managed to help people through doing what I love. It's crazy that I didn't even know until I came to AFDA that it was something that I loved. It's also shaped me into a savvy, business-minded individual who focuses on cultivating relationships and also takes risks. When I came back to Cape Town after tour, I found myself wanting to complete my degree. But I was hunting high and low for the funds to make it possible. I went back into the student portal after 2 whole years, and I remembered my student number and my password like the first try. I guess they're just some things that you just don't forget. I know that one thing I won't ever forget is what it was like when I was working full-time to pay for AFDA while still studying at AFDA. I used to sit in the supply closet at work so that I could hop onto my online lectures, and I would absolutely annoy the daylights out of my colleagues because I would have voice class and I would be like screaming Adele from one side of the office while they were trying to work. However, with a lot of help, understanding and support from my lecturers, peers, my bandmates, my colleagues, my boyfriend, and my mother, I did actually make it through. I definitely didn't think that I would be relocated to Joburg to work as the marketing and communications manager of a Radisson hotel right as I finished my degree. But I guess that's what happens when you choose a degree that prepares you for anything. It happens. Every day in my job, I'm reminded of how AFDA has been part of so much of my education. Whenever I find myself on a Zoom boardroom and I'm presenting a 45-minute pitch, I calmly remind myself that I've done it 100 times, because we all rarely have. As real life as AFDA really was, there's certain things that people who haven't studied AFDA just won't understand. They're like little have-to-be-there moments, like how you're always going to shed a tear the night before your production course documents are due. It's just gonna happen. Excuse me if I go a little bit over time. I'm used to the valor pitches. So, here we stand again, in front of a world that's asking us what we want to be and do. If there's any takeaway for me, it's that what you do is just a means to an end. And the end is who, not what, we want to be. Thank you so much, AFDA, for building my character, building my confidence, and a sense of myself. But I think most of all, thank you for the music.
The degree of Bachelor of Arts in Motion Picture Medium is hereby conferred upon Lutalia Andrews, Michlale Baleni, Ludovic Fabrice Bax, Constantine Xavier Berger, Sebastian William Bowles, Levi Matthew Buck, Danielle Blanca Destiny Charles, Colton Andreas Adrian Clayton Howie, Jean-Ray Cordier, Bongo Yonela Dipa, Nicole Doyle, Jacobus Johannes Duplessis, Richard Hahn Ellis, Danielle Nan Erlank, Gabriel Kyle Array, Bernadine Goncalves Farina, Timoteo Fernandez, Annika Sylvia Fourie, Christoffel Johannes Froneman, Seth George, Nina Hotz, Joel Aaron Griffin, Sayyeda Zanab Husseini Bakhasakhani, Jocelea Jeronique Carson, Kimberly Waniru, Mohammed Zaid Lachadin, Mia Leroux, Trond Anders Lierhagen, William Charles Lyle, Alexander Philip Mackenzie, Jennifer Alethea Majola, Rampai Makoko, Sesetu Talia Mudulungu, Selendile Mgomenzulu, Bongi Khomazana Mtambo, Ayman Mustafa Farouk Muhammad, Michael John Mouton, Patience Vahunga Mureti, Laratu Mutiwashe Nzimwimbi, Sipu Sinkosi Nkube, Stephen Ndekwe, Sarah Ndao, Andani Vutsilu Ndao, Francois Louis Nell, Matthew Robert Nell, Tuliswa Sifikelwe Ngwana, Andrew Muwesi Ukhango, Sami Salasa, Abdul Hakim Samai, Jeremy Thomas Sanner, Felix Sibu Sapeta, Morwatwa Siabelo, Michael Gary Searle, Juve Seversat, Morwena Mutinta Shamwana, Lumka Andele Sebeko, Yolanda Siduka, Klaus Sickman, Dane Jesse Sisam, Jean-Luc Smith, Francois Charles Smith, Nicholas Michael Spilsbury, Bertu Stander, Alexander Zuta, Mishka Titus, Lizan van Rooyen, Adrian van Wyk, Tennyson Jules Williams, Michael Alexander Wilson, Calvin Michael Wiltshire, Lillian Martinson Vinay, Belinda Louise Wood, The degree of Bachelor of Arts in Motion Picture Medium with distinction on the Dean's List is hereby conferred upon Bamedile Malaika Akupuvo, Mark Jonathan Org, Dominique Besaidenhout, Jennifer May Bloor, Sebastian Christoph Braun, Valerie Barbara Britz, Calvin Handley Niklas Bruton, Alistair Raymond Carnes, Yanei Kutsia, Isabella Julia Deisberg, Julian Dominic Forbes, Kai Yasmin Huisman, Lauren Hall, Hannah Ignacio, Ronan Granger Irish, Caleb Reba Isaacs, Koluva Netumbezedua Mabunda, Michael John McGowan, Jenna Lee Militz, Saraya Madeline Moleka, Tino Tenda Charles Modiwa, Cameron Andrew Murray, Liam Dennis Nisbet, Talita Talia Neville, Hilta Louisa Werendal, Tristan Peel, Maseri Modise Ranyane, Jared Shadler, Pascal Skuman, Khalil Tayyip, Nikas Leon Fenter, Divan Fenter, Joshua Ross Witten. The degree of Bachelor of Arts in Motion Picture Medium with cum laude is hereby conferred upon Sunay Berger, Amina Buli, Nicholas Catalan, Eva de Raviel La Argentire, Noah de Villiers, Benjamin George Jacobs, Jack Martin Ludick, Matthew Keith Morer, Rourke Vasilis Mudd, Mark John Petrelis, Gastel Jore Rakatobe, Edward Adolf Rotenbach, Marley Retief, Tahir Khan Saguro, Martha Elise Strand. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the BA undergraduate valedictorian Amina Buli to give her valedictory speech.
Good evening. It feels extremely surreal for me to be standing here as valedictorian, as this doesn't feel like my achievement alone. And for that, I am so thankful and so grateful to all those who played a role. I know that I wouldn't be possible without God, my amazing parents, family, friends, and of course lecturers. But I definitely wouldn't be standing here without the most amazing crew that always gave it their all. I remember being told that you're on your own and no one is going to look for you at campus. Clearly, those people have never been in post-production, running between 3 floors looking for one person. And this stands out the most for me about my AFDA journey, that I never felt alone or unsupported, whether it was just bonding with classmates trying to make sense of AFDA, or when I was confused or unsure, all I had to do was send a message and someone would help. I never felt unsupported because we had lecturers just checking in if we were okay. And on those hard days, I'd walk over to Jamie's office and find the support group of students all in the same boat. And this was the most comforting feeling ever. I never felt on my own because our lecturers meant it when they said, if there's an emergency, just call me. And they have answered even if it was a Sunday morning at 7 a.m. So to the Dean, lecturers, and AFDA staff, congratulations, and I acknowledge you on the great job you did during these 3 years. Nothing can truly show how grateful and thankful we are for your love and support that went beyond just your job description and a salary, but made us feel valued. To my peers, congratulations on making it through the last 3 years. I am honored to have known you all before your fame and stardom. Although this is a joyous occasion, I am heartbroken that we couldn't celebrate it together. But I don't believe that this is where we leave each other. And AFDA alumni told me that sometimes in the industry she just goes, AFDA never ends. My reminder for all of you is that whatever's meant for you will reach you. And I want our intention to be that on those hard days when we go, AFDA never ends, to remember we had each other's back and to still be there for each other. At times we're going to be each other's biggest competition, but let's not become despicable and make it a healthy competition. When we phone looking for a favor or a connection, let's help each other out. When you hear someone's looking for a recommendation, let's recommend each other. When we see each other growing in the industry, let's support that, even if it's just by viewing the product. Because AFDA never ends doesn't need to reflect your daily struggles here, but it can also reflect your positive time here. I truly believe that if we go into this industry taking care of each other and with love, that can transcend into the content we create and ultimately into the world. Once again, thank you and congratulations. I am wishing you all nothing but happiness and success.
The degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours in Live Performance is hereby conferred upon Mahatma Ulumwengu, Araya Nell, Samira Kelly Sharnik. The degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours in Motion Picture is hereby conferred upon Jade Charnel Alexander, Siam Kusain, Katlejo Pabalo Haleetswa, Jesse Alexander Lish, Benjamin Sedipa Mushango, Teboho Nong, Shinyae Vuiswa Nitsuhudu, Ropa Fadozo Angela Rufareshe Besuwarai, Anthony Manuel Rangel Cole, Juliet Boadicea Ruxton Yates, the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours in Motion Picture with distinction on the Dean's List is hereby conferred upon Peter Josh Hall, Sophia Lily Sachs, Senesipo Mtawalanga Lubulwana, Kielen Nieuwestad, Karel Petrus Skrikkeling. The degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours in Motion Picture with cum laude is hereby conferred upon Naishe Hassan Nayumbaya, Kristen Leah Pinar. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the BA postgraduate valedictorian Naisho Nayumbaya to give his valedictory speech.
To the Dean, the Registrar, staff, parents, students, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. If you are listening to this, then congratulations are in order. You have indeed survived yet another year. No doubt the entire world was turned upside down by the madness of the pandemic, and I could go on and on at length about how it impacted us as students, as a school, and as an industry. But I won't torture you with all of that. To be granted the opportunity to address all of you, particularly in such tumultuous times, is a great privilege, and I'm truly honored to be here. I'm able to stand here because I stand on the shoulders of those who came before me and those who surround me. I'm able to stand here because of those who have inspired me, guided me, and taught me. My mother, my family, the Brickhills, and of course, my colleagues. I owe it to the entire postgrad team, Lucia, Mira, sweet Mira, Anisha, Nareen, who endured the year and continued to teach us and push us. I owe it to my team, Karel, Kristen, Keelan, who persevered against all odds to make our honors film last year. To you all, I'm truly grateful. Now it is customary for the speaker to bestow a nugget of wisdom to the fellow listener, a parting saying or an ounce of motivation to his comrades. Speeches have never been my strong suit, and who am I to advise anyone on anything? I am but a student, still learning and still growing. So all I can honestly give you is something from my own experiences, something I've learned personally. And what I've learned is how short people's memories are. You see, we live in a society so immensely oversaturated with media. It bombards us from left and right that we've become so forgetful. The biggest film from last year or the biggest show from last year have all disappeared from audiences' minds. They're gone, just like that. It's done. It's faded. We don't talk about it anymore. It's done. The biggest song from last year, raking in billions of views on YouTube, is no longer sung at all. It's not even played in the supermarket. It's done. It's vanished. But interestingly, we still listen to Bob Marley. We still listen to Mozart. We still read Shakespeare. We still admire Van Gogh. We still watch Kubrick and Kurosawa. Their work is considered timeless. It's still watched, still studied. It's incredible. Why is that? It's because they were masters of their craft. You see, the amazing thing about AFDA is it drives excellence. In order to flourish and survive at this school, you have to excel and be the best at what you do. You have to. That's the only way. And I don't think we wasted 3 or 4 years of education to make trifles that will be forgotten and rot in the vast library shelves of Netflix or disappear in the cesspit of YouTube. No. No. We came to be masters of our craft. That's why our parents believed in us and supported us. That's why the staff here have dedicated themselves to our education. You know, we might have been big fish at AFDA, but we were big fish in a very, very small pond. And it's only when you leave that you discover that for everything you do well, 1,000 other people can do it better. So I think going forward, it's important to always ask, why should anyone pick you? Why you and no one else? Anyone can shoot this. Anyone can do the sound, but why are they calling you? Anyone can do the editing. Why? There are 1,000 actors who can do the role better than you. But why are they desperate for you? Because many people are good at what they do. Some people are great at what they do. But only a few people are masters at what they do. So I urge us all to become masters of our craft. Because only masters will be remembered. Thank you.
The degree in the Master of Fine Arts is hereby conferred upon Colin Enos Nyamuyaruka, Andrea Kotsia, Stephanus Cornelius Oukamp. The degree in Master of Fine Arts with cum laude is hereby conferred upon Richard Evan Starkey. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Master's valedictorian, Richard Starkey, to give his valedictory speech.
Fellow graduates, I've been told I have 3 minutes for this speech, so forgive me if I don't mention all the work that's gone into your degrees and diplomas, because there's been a lot of work from you, from your predecessors, your lecturers, and from the people who decided one day that South Africa needed a school for the creative economy. The world has changed a lot since the school started. The world has changed a lot in the few short years we've been students here, and this virtual ceremony proves it. And one of the few certainties in the world is that the world will continue to change. Did you learn everything here at AFDA that you need in order to do your job perfectly in the film industry starting tomorrow? No. But did you learn enough to at least go out and ply your trade? Also, probably no. What I have learned, and what I hope you have learned too, is far greater than a simple trade. It's the ability to retrieve information, to filter that information and apply it in a creative and considered manner. You've all proven beyond doubt that you have the ability to learn new ways of doing things, to challenge yourselves and not take the easy or lazy way out, to use the tools available at your disposal to make quality content, to write creative and compelling scripts, to convert those scripts into watchable and meaningful content, even to creatively allocate limited money in a film budget. I've been in the industry for 30 years now. I started studying a BSc majoring in maths and physics, but I hated it. I did a bunch of other stuff and fell into the film industry. I loved it. I moved from post-audio to editing in 1996, and I'm still editing. Why, you may ask? Because it challenges me. Every single day I learn something, and the more I learn, the better I am at achieving satisfaction from my work. Not only for me, but for others, my creative partners and clients, the juniors I work with. I had a phone call today from a school pupil who did work experience in my edit room in 2004. He told me I inspired him to be a filmmaker, and he would be honored if I would consider cutting his first feature film. This is how the film industry works. People notice a lot more than just your skill. They notice your values, your integrity, and your ability to cope with difficult situations just as much as they notice your mad skills. Before I sign off, I need to mention one special person who could not be here today. This was a man who upheld these values like very few other people. Honesty, integrity, compassion, patience, and understanding. I signed up to do a master's degree at AFDA at age 49, 30 years after I failed first year and never went back. Lawrence Dawkin, a well-known documentary filmmaker and anti-apartheid activist, signed up at age 63. Lawrence sadly died of COVID last May in the early days of the pandemic. Just as he dedicated his life to the upliftment of others, I would like to dedicate my own master's degree to Lawrence Dawkin, one of the most inspiring human beings I've been lucky enough to call a colleague and a friend. What Lawrence would have wanted for me and for all of you is to walk out of the virtual gates of AFDA, degrees and diplomas in hand, and make a difference in the South African film industry, to make it a better place for others and for yourselves. As is the natural order of things, the baton is now being slowly passed to you. Make yourselves and your school proud. Be interested, be curious. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Do be afraid of ignorance and arrogance. Don't rest on your laurels, stand on them. Use them to reach a bit higher if you can. Whatever job you do as your first job in the film industry, make yourself indispensable. Do the job better than your predecessor, better than the person who'll succeed you. Strive to be your best in every way, because that will lead to better jobs, making better films with better people. Because at the end of the day, what could be better than you? I'll tell you what, it's a better you. Thank you, good night, and most of all, congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Lismore again to officially close the academic convocation.
I now declare the convocation of the class of 2020 closed.
All right, there we have it. Moving on to a little bit more, the AFDA Discipline Awards celebrate the achievements of the graduating undergraduate and postgraduate students in the film, television, live performance, and business innovation school. These awards are a result of the exiting students' final performance and production work as exhibited during the annual graduation festival held last year in December. The students' work has been evaluated by selected members of the audience who attended the festival and a panel of industry critics. The evaluations, together with a set of awards criteria, are used to select the nominees and the winner. The presiding assessment officer, our registrar, Dr. James Lismore, has audited and warranted the results of tonight's winners. To announce the awards categories and nominees, I call on Mr. Jean-Pierre Duval. And to announce the winners, I call on the Dean, Dion Lawrenson.
For outstanding achievement in the higher certificate program, the nominees are Alison Lewis, Elizabeth Darville, Stian Foree, and the award goes to
Elizabeth Darville.
For Best Discipline in Business Leadership, the nominees are Erin Lewis for Safety Aid, Gustu Matoto for Indigo, and the award goes to
Erin Lewis.
For Management and Operations goes to Vuyoletwu Manona for Safety Aid. The Outstanding Achievement in Discipline for Marketing and Sales goes to Deboho Mokeani for Indigo. For Best Discipline Digital Technology, the nominees are Jordan Mitchell for Safety Aid, Juliet Montague Fryer for Safety Aid, Mia Mainprice for Indigo, Vincent van Staden for Indigo, and the award goes to
Mia Mainprice.
Best Technology Solution Award. The nominees are Jordan Mitchell, Juliet Montague Fryer for Safety Aid, Mia Mainprice and Vincent van Staden for Indigo, and the award goes to
Mia Mainprice and Vincent van Staden.
Best Interface Award. The nominees are Jordan Mitchell, Juliet Montague Fryer for Safety Aid, Mia Mainprice and Vincent van Staden for Indigo, and the award goes to
Jordan Mitchell and Juliet Montague Fryer.
the Best Television Scriptwriting, undergrad. The nominees are Broken Swans and C9. And the award goes to
C9.
Best Film Screenplay, undergrad. The nominees are Bamiro Akopovo for Breath of Water, Joshua Witten for The Audition, Tahir Saguru for The House My Grandfather Built. And the award goes to
Tahir Sarguro.
Best Script for Film or TV on Postgraduate Studies. The nominees are Anthony Rangel Cole for A Bloom, Naishe Nyambuya for Four Walls and a Roof, Teboho Nom for Transmute. And the award goes to
Naishe Nyambaya.
Best Television Producing Team, undergrad. The nominees are Broken Swans and C9. And the award goes to
Broken Swans.
Best Film Producer, undergrad. The nominees are Amina Booli for The House My Grandfather Built, Divan Fainter for Tot die Son Opkom, Matthew Morer and Tino Tenda Modiwa for The Audition. And the award goes to
Amina Booli.
Best Producer in Film or TV in Postgraduate, Josh Hall and Siam Hussain for A Bloom, Kristen Pinar for Four Walls and a Roof, Sinosepo Lubulwana for Transmute. And the award goes to
Kirsten Pinar.
Best Production Design in Film, undergrad, Eva de Raville for The House My Grandfather Built, Janae Kutsia for Tot die Son Opkom, Mark Petralis for The Passage. And the award goes to
Mark Petreles.
Best Costume, Makeup and Styling in Film, undergrad. The nominees are Jennifer Bloor for Little Ghosts, Joshalea Carson for Red and the Others, Kai Hosman for The House My Grandfather Built, Ntombi Mabunda for Wrong Girl. And the award goes to
Jennifer Bloor.
the Outstanding Achievement in Production Design across multiple mediums, undergrad, is awarded to Janae Kutsia. The outstanding achievement in postgrad production design is awarded to Carl Skrikkelen for 4 Walls and a Roof. For Best Television Director, Undergrad, the nominees are Lerato Mswimbi for C9, Michlale Baleni for Broken Swans, and the award goes to
Lerato Mzwimbi.
Best Cinematography in Film Undergrad. The nominees are Liam Nesbitt for The Audition, Marley Retief for Little Ghosts, Masaidi Raniani for The House My Grandfather Built, Pascal Skuman for Tot die Son Opkom, Tristan Peel for The Passage, and the award goes to
Marley Retief.
Best Film Directing Undergrad, and the nominees are Bamidele Akopovo for Breaths of Water, Lumka Sebeko for Muffin Top, Tahir Saguru for The House My Grandfather Built, and the award goes to
Tahir Saguru.
Best Directing in Postgrad. The nominees are Anthony Rangel Cole for A Bloom, Keelan Nieuwestad for 4 Walls and a Roof, Tebogo Nong for Transmute, and the award goes to
Anthony Rangel Cole.
Best Television Technical Team Undergrad. The nominees are Broken Swans, C9, and the award goes to
C9.
Best Editing in Film Undergrad. Jared Shadler for Little Ghosts, Mishka Titus for Muffin Top, Nicholas Catalan for The House My Grandfather Built, and the award goes to
Jared Shadler.
Best Television Post-Production Undergrad. The nominees are Felix Sapita for Broken Swans, Prince Rampai Makoko and Lerato Mzimwimbi for C9. The award goes to
Felix Sapeta.
Best Sound Design in Film Undergrad. The nominees are Benjamin Jacobs for The Passage, Matthew Now for Usable Spectrum, Patience Moretti for Wrong Girl, and the award goes to
Benjamin Jacobs.
Best Music Score in Film Undergrad. The nominees are Gastel Rokotobe for The House My Grandfather Built, Heloise Oerendal for The Passage, and the award goes to
Heloise Wedendal.
Best Visual Effects in Film undergrad. The nominees are Julian Forbes for Torisonokom, Khalil Tayyab for The House My Grandfather Built, Rourke Mudd and Khalil Tayyab for The Audition. And the award goes to
Khalil Tayyab.
Best Data and Grading in Film undergrad. And the nominees are Abdul Samai for The Passage, Alistair Carnes for The Audition, and Levi Buck for Prelude. And the award goes to
Abdul Samai.
for Best Editing in Postgraduate Studies. The nominees are Katlego Halowatsayo for Transmute, Ropa Fuswarai for Four Walls and a Roof. And the award goes to
Ropa Poswarai.
Best Music Performance in Undergrad. The nominees are Caleb Worrell for Dear Zwicky, Beers and Swearing, Francois Litton for Fiction, and the award goes to
Francis Litton.
The Outstanding Achievement for Postgraduate Music Performance goes to Mahatma Olumwengu for The Art of Making Friends. For Best Performance in a Supporting Role in a Television Production, the nominees are Maete Rakabe for Broken Swans, Tulani Nzonzo for C9, and the award goes to
Maete Rakabe.
The Outstanding Achievement in a Lead Role in Television Production Undergrad is awarded to Nico Tsotsi for C9. Best Performance in a Supporting Role in Film Undergrad. The nominees are Angelique Erasmus for Todisonopkom, Daniel Stroman for The Audition, Maete Rakabe for Todisonopkom, and the award goes to
Angelique Erasmus.
So Best Performance in a Lead Role in a Film Undergrad. The nominees are Mika van Zyl for Todisonopkom, Tulani Nzonzo for The Audition, Zaria Julies for The House My Grandfather Built, and the award goes to
Tulane Nzonzo.
For Best Performance in a Supporting Role in a Stage Production Undergrad. The nominees are Kayla Goosen for Congolese Commanding Commissaris by J. Bobs Tabalala, Linda Madiwo for Congolese Commanding Commissars by J. Bobs Chabalala, Siobhan Khabake for Scenes from Love and Information by Carol Churchill. And the award goes to
Siobhan Khabake.
Best Performance in a Lead Role in a Stage Production Undergrad. The nominees are Maite Rakabe for Congolese Commanding Commissars by J. Bobs Tabalala. Mika van Zyl for Good Heavens by Riza de Wet. Nko Tsotsi for Congolese Commanding Commissars by J. Bobs Tabalala. And the award goes to
Mika van Zyl.
the outstanding achievement for performance in a lead role in film or TV postgrad is awarded to Samira Sharnik for Transmute. Best performance in a supporting role in stage productions postgrad. The nominees are Araya Nell for Wednesday's Child, Samira Sharnik for Disconnected, and the award goes to
Alria Null.
Best Film and TV in Postgrad. The nominees are A Bloom, Four Walls and a Roof, and Transmute. The award goes to
Four Walls and a Roof.
for Best Stage Production Postgrad. The nominees are Disconnected and Wednesday's Child, and the award goes to
Wednesday's Child.
And there we have it. What an evening it has been. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to all the graduates and all the award winners. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for the year. I would now like you to all please rise for the academic recession.
Good evening, class of 2020, parents, friends, family. Congratulations. This has been said so many times during the course of today when you came in to collect your certificates and have your official formal graduation photographs taken, and during the course of this evening's virtual ceremony. But we cannot say congratulations enough to you. In this time of COVID, it's certainly been a hard time. And you as class of 2020 have shown exactly what you can do with resilience, with hard work, and with collaboration. And so we proudly send you out into the world with your degrees, your qualifications, and say to you, you've earned it. And we hope that you will take the values of AFDA, employ them into your life, into your professional work. And remember, the alumni of AFDA is one of the most powerful tools that you can have as you network and build your careers in this wonderful industry of entertainment, content creation, and most importantly, telling our South African stories. Good night, goodbye, and good luck.